Hi, just a quick video to see if the new release by Paco Rabanne, 1 Million Lucky, is a Clint Eastwood.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Or a Jim Carrey.
Now you have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punks?
I got my hands on a 1.5 ml sample. It's just the card. I've worn this a couple of times. I just got a small bit left. So I'm just going to give this a couple of sprays and talk about the opening. Okay. It's a really sweet opening. It's incredibly sweet. When you spray this, I don't get any resemblance to 1 Million, really. If I were to compare it to a Paco Rabanne fragrance, I think it might be closer to Black XS. Okay, so I'm just looking on Fragrantica here, and the top notes are ozonic notes, plum and grapefruit. Well, there is some kind of there's a kind of a fruitiness to the top. There's kind of a fruitiness to the opening. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell what exact fruit it is. Is it, but I'm presuming it's plum. So I'm just getting sweetness, kind of fruitiness. And it does feel a bit kind of fresh, so maybe that could be. I'm not going to say it's the grapefruit, because I do believe I got the grapefruit into the dry down. Now maybe that's just my nose. Maybe that's not what it is. But I thought I got the grapefruit later on. So maybe this freshness is the ozonic notes. So the middle notes of this are hazelnut, cedar, cashmere wood, jasmine and honey. Well, I'm presuming that the honey is giving all this sweetness. I didn't really, when I was wearing it, I didn't really get any exact hazelnut smell, but I did get something that was kind of, I suppose I could have compared it to something like chocolate or praline or something. Not that it smelled like that, but the same kind of effect. So I'm presuming that's the hazelnut. I could be wrong. This kind of sweetness, fruitiness, kind of lasts for about 4 hours. This thing gives out kind of small sprays, so I sprayed myself 18 times with this, so I made sure that I got, I'd say, a good half of this. I got about 0.7 of a milliliter on myself, just to make sure that I did get enough on, so I could really test the performance on this. After 4 hours, this fragrance changes, and that's when I got the patchouli kind of base. And I did feel, no, I don't know if it was the patchouli, but I did feel I was getting grapefruit throughout this. If it was like grapefruit extract, if you ever get that in hand creams or whatever, that's what it kind of smelled like to me. The longevity on this, I got about 9 hours. I've been looking on for a Grantica, and a lot of people are a bit underwhelmed by the performance. Generally, they seem to be getting about 6 hours. I probably have, in general, good skin chemistry for fragrances, so maybe that's the reason. I would say projection on this, I'd say it projected for a couple of hours, 2 hours, and the projection was moderate on this, average. I wouldn't say it was too light or too heavy. It was just okay. I'm not quite sure where the connection is with 1 million. I don't see much of a similarity. I'm not sure why this possibly wasn't a fragrance, a new fragrance, or I mean, if this was a flanker of Black Excess, it wouldn't have made any difference really. I don't see much of a similarity. It's just the sweetness at the start kind of reminds me a bit of Black Excess. So it's just a really kind of sweet fragrance. The opening is it's pleasant enough. It's not very impressive. The dry down, pleasant enough again. Not very impressive. For me, I think the transition from the opening to the dry down is a bit, I don't know. I think it's at first I found it a bit weird. Then as I went on, I got more used to it, but I don't know. I think this is not a good fragrance for a blind buy. I think you need to test this out. If you don't have access to a department store where you can test this, maybe buy yourself one of these 1 ml decants or spray bottles and try it out, because you might be disappointed with this. It's an okay fragrance. It's not gonna blow you away. Performance is average really. 9 hours, it's okay. I mean, if you're gonna be paying, I don't know how much is this in Boots, that's a pharmacy chemist in the UK and Ireland. For 200 millilitres it's €120. It's €85 for 100 millilitres, and it's €60 for 50 millilitres. So I don't know. I mean, it's average performance for the price. The reason why I'm criticising the performance for the price is because if you look at my channel, you know that I review a lot of cheaper kind of fragrances that give way better performance than this. For example, Gourmand Leather by Zara, kind of a similar kind of very sweet fragrance, which is it's a clone of Ultra Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier. That has much better performance than this, and you can get 100 mils of that for €17, and you can get really good deals in the sales as well. So I mean, it's just, all in all, the fragrance is a bit unimpressive. It's pleasant. If somebody gave it to me as a gift, I'd use it, but would I be running out to buy this? No. I'm glad I didn't buy this. It's just a little bit unimpressive. The only thing I will say is that I think maybe if I were to wear this more and more, my opinion might improve with further wearings, but I just don't think I am going to wear this anymore. It's got 2.98 out of 5, and for a Grantic at the moment, I think that will increase. Not by much. I think it might go up to maybe 3.5. Another thing that I want to talk about is why they released this in the start of May, maybe late April, start of May. I think this is a fragrance you would wear probably in the winter. I'm presuming that Europe and North America are the main markets for this fragrance. Obviously, you know, Southern Hemisphere as well, but I think, you know, you want to create buzz in Europe and North America, so I'm not too sure why it's being brought out in the start of summer, because especially in hotter countries like where I'm from, Ireland, it's going to be cold. You could wear this, but I'm presuming in the States and places it's going to start to get hot. No, it probably is hot now, and I can't imagine you'd be wearing this. So I thought maybe on the other side of the calendar, maybe the end of August or maybe start of autumn going into winter, would have been a better time to release this kind of fragrance. So I don't know, it just seems a bit strange to me. So all in all, I'd probably give this maybe 5.5 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 6, and I think 5 is being a bit harsh. So that's my review of 1 Million Lucky by Paco Rabanne. If you found this video interesting, please give me a like, and if you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe. So unfortunately, it looks like this fragrance is a bit of a Jim Carrey.